Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first attempt at a live stream event. This is opening day. The Tigers and Rays about to kick off here. Shane McCallan doing the final warm up pitches, and you can watch along with us. So if you have the game on in the background or next to you, we're going to be having it via the MLB app because, quite frankly, we can't stream it live because we'll get sued into oblivion. So we'll have the rights to do that. But if you're watching at home, you can watch along with us and just hang out. Chris will be along with us shortly. Also, I have a special guest, and I'm not going to say who it is yet because I always wait till that who the person will come in. So everybody who's ever watching us on YouTube this evening, just let us know. You want to take it away for a second? I got to take a quick phone call.
Sure, no problem. Real excited to get going. Another season, Tigers baseball. Tigers start off in a lovely Tropicana field, unfortunately. Not playing under the sunshine today, but in Florida, but that's all right. Good to have it back. Tired of the fake games. Tigers draw McClanahan today on the mound for the Rays, so they jump right into the deep end of the pool. Should be interesting, and we'll see what Eduardo Rodriguez brings to the table. See if he can match McClanahan, and Tigers can pull one out here on opening day. Was listening to a little bit of the pregame show. Matt Shepard, did his Matt Shepard thing. Craig Monroe seemed a little excited for his opening day. He needs to kind of slow it down a little bit. But that was fun to listen to have those guys back and talking about real baseball today. So, we're going to see a lot of things. This is the year to me is so much about Torkelson and Green more than anything else. And I've said this before on the podcast, but I'll say it again. Where this team goes in the future, it just hinges on those two guys carrying this lineup. So we really need to see some growth this year. At least I'd like to. And we'll see, what Torkelson is. Now that it looks like his confidence is back from spring training, does he carry that into the real season? It's going to be exciting to watch. I'm definitely hoping for the best on that one. I'm sure you all are. So what we got going on here? I'm old and I'm blind, so I'm trying to see what's going on. Matt Vierling starts the season by striking out, and that's all right. We got one down. We know McClanahan is going to be working fast and dealing hard, and the Tigers are going to have to try to scratch out some runs here. I was watching quite a bit of the Yankees and Giants this afternoon. Aaron Judge went deep for the Yankees. Garrett Cole struck out a dozen guys through about 6 innings. He was dominant, and it really did appear by working fast with the pitch clock, it looked like advantage to the pitcher. Now, Garrett Cole probably makes a lot of things look advantage pitcher, but man, he was mowing people down. And then Logan Webb gave up a couple of dingers, but he also had struck out 10 last I looked, and he's not a huge strikeout pitcher. So definitely pitching was it has not, the pitch clock's not solved the strikeout problem yet early in the first day. So, but it was interesting to see Garrett Cole looking really dominant. He was working up in the zone. Laz Diaz strike zone looked a little generous, but still the Yankees are going to ride Garrett Cole as far as they can this year because I'm not sure what kind of starting pitching they have outside of him. And let's see here. We got an out. Javi Baez with a single. There you go. So looking good there. Riley Green has gone out. So I'm not sure how up to date here the StatCast is on the game day, but Tigers got 2 on, 1 out. Here comes Haas. See if they can get something cooking here. It'll be really interesting to see the playtime split between Haas and Rogers this year. How much Rogers takes away from Haas, where Haas has to play, whether he's DHing, whether he's playing in left field, or does Haas hit enough where he's in the lineup much more than Jake Rogers? Not sure what Hinch's plan is. That's one of those things we'll watch evolve and see what the season brings. My dog's going nuts here. My dog's named Sweet Lou. Say hello, Sweet Lou. Yeah, she's named after Lou Whitaker. She's nuts, but that's all right. We love her. This is my son, Dash. He's wearing his Clemente jersey on opening day. Very stylish.
Sorry, folks. I was in the middle of a phone call there. I didn't even have to do that. So Chris will be joining us shortly. He just sent me a text. So
okay.
Yeah, and was there Baez with a single, and then what just happened with Riley Green? I missed that part.
I think he grounded out.
Grounded out, okay. McClanahan's been hitting 100 consistently here, so.
Well,
yeah,
you knew
so
they drew a tough one on opening day here.
Yeah, they did. And the thing, we're gonna try this out, see how it works, and then whenever we have the opportunity during the day, we'll try to do this. And Eric Haas just grounded out, so the Tigers left a couple runners on with one hit, and we go to the bottom of the first. So, yeah, if you're watching the game, just watch along and just want to shoot the breeze in here, by all means, go for it. If you're watching us on YouTube right now live, but yeah, his stuff does look pretty good.
I was
go ahead.
While you were on the phone, I was talking about Garrett Cole with the Yankees. I was watching Yankees and Giants this afternoon.
Oh, he
looked dominant.
Yeah,
he struck out 12 through 6 innings, and he was toying with the Giants. He was up in the zone, and they could not do anything with him. His changeup was killing him, and Laz Diaz had a little bit of a generous zone at times. But also Logan Webb struck out 10 for the Giants. That the pitch clock really, I think, not sure. It might be a little advantage to the pitcher getting those batters ready to hit.
Yeah, and I watched a little bit of that game too. I ended up watching the first inning of the Cubs and Brewers game because I want to watch Corbin Burns pitch, and I think it was him and Marcus Stroman. So it was the thing is, especially with that stadium, to get that efficient out there. Garrett Cole, I mean, the Giant. They addressed how I liked how they mentioned Yooper that. Oh yeah, the Giants try to sign Aaron Judge and try to go after all these big names and just settled instead. So I thought it was kind of a funny, subtle jab at, you don't try to go for Yankees. So
yeah, exactly. But I was actually I thought Tom Verducci's really on top of Garrett Cole's pitch selection. He was nailing it time after time. Sometimes better than John Smoltz does.
Yeah.
I like Verducci.
I don't know. I think to me, Yooper, and we've talked about this numerous times. I think John Smoltz sometimes come across way too bitter and just kind of like the way it used to be kind of thing. And I get kind of old. Yeah. So, by the way, we are watching the game. I am watching the game on my tablet right here. It's next to me, and I have it streaming. Rodriguez is now doing his warm-up pitches, but yes. So you don't have the game on, right? Because
no, I'm a loser.
Yeah, because he's in that strange Iowa trilogy of sadness or whatever that is.
No, it's just my wife took the laptop with her on her trip, so it's.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was. Okay, I thought it was a blackout issue.
No.
Yep.
I was going to watch the game on my phone, so I can't do both, and that's okay. So I'll be in and out a little bit today anyway, because I'm home with my son. But my wife went to New Orleans, had a great time this week, and she's in Dallas right now making a connection. So how's the laptop? No baseball for me right now.
Let's see here. There's a first strike by Rodriguez. It's a 3-1 count on Diaz. And Diaz, I love those old school Rays uniforms.
Yeah.
Glad they went with that.
The Rays, you say?
The Rays, yeah.
Can you see that?
And there's a fly ball to right, and Verlaine's got an underneath for the first out for the Rays in the first inning. But so yeah, if you are joining us, just like I said, just shoot the, you want to shoot the shit or shoot the breeze, if you will. Then please go ahead. And if you're also not a subscriber to Woodward, it's going to take me a while to get used to it. If you're not subscribed to the Motor City Metrics baseball page or our Tiger Minor Report page, please do so. We're closing in on both 1,000. We really appreciate it. So there's Wander Franco with a single. So this Rays team's gonna be fun to watch this year.
I agree. Wander Franco makes my fantasy team happy too.
Which one? Oh, the one the league we're in.
Yeah, that's my only fantasy team. I have one. That's it.
My brother is in I think 5 or 6.
Yeah. No, I try to put my 10 minutes a day into the one team and call her good.
I think I should do the same. I'm in 2 leagues, but definitely there's 2 leagues I'm in. One for like kind of fun with a couple of people that I don't know, and then our league that we're in. So in our league, we've talked about this a couple times. And by the way, the feed is ahead of the game. So for those watching the game at home, looks like the Tigers are gonna get out of this inning here shortly. But we've talked about the trade guy. There's a guy in our league that's a trade guy who constantly is trading, and trying to balance into his trade. There's Chris Brown. Chris Brown joining us. Hello, Chris.
Hey. Chris.
Hey, I'm got a new setup here. I'm using my laptop. I don't know how it's going to sound, but it was the only way I could actually look over to the right and watch the game.
That sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, sweet. All right. What did I miss? We missed.
Well, it looks like the Tigers got out of this inning because according to the app, they got out of the
app that far ahead.
You missed the Javi Baez single.
I did see that on TV.
That can't be right though. Yeah, never mind. It was saying like he was out with 3. Yeah, I said. Oh, I read that wrong. That's right. I'm an idiot. Sorry, I read that wrong. That's my fault. My bad.
I do have it. It does appear to be maybe a pitch or 2 ahead, but yeah, I don't remember seeing the pitch clock right there in the middle of the diamond on the broadcast in spring training. Was that? You know what I'm talking about?
That's kind of a new thing too. Yeah.
What is the?
Well, they show the pitch clock when you look at on the score bug at the bottom. They throw it right in the middle of the baseball diamond between the inning and the pitch count.
Let's see here against ex-Tiger Isaac Paredes here.
Yeah.
Boy.
See, I don't think they need to throw the pitch clock up there until it's getting close to being expired. Like start at 5, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real Erod versus Paredes type of a bat. Just a whole bunch of foul balls and.
I was gonna say I like the fact they called notable departures. Drew Hutchison. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I saw that, and Dustin Garneau, Daniel Hara, Daniel Norris, all that good stuff.
In the pregame, Matt Shepard said last year Spencer Torkelson made a splash, and I was thinking, did he have cement shoes on when he made that splash? And what was going on there?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a classic Freddy's pop-up.
Yeah, here's one of the most dangerous men in baseball right here. Randy Rosarena, who is just, the guy had a great WBC. And I'm slightly jealous the Rays have him.
Yeah, got him from the Cardinals for, who is it? The lefty?
Libertor,
yep. We'll be greeted as Libertors.
I always think of Lipitor, the
cholesterol. Isn't it a cholesterol medication?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, yeah. So, like I said, this is just if you're just tuning along, you can make comments, whatever you're watching us on live on YouTube. Obviously, won't be on the our podcast. By the way, feed is up, and you can find it under Motor City Metrics. So, if you're tuning into Woodward Tigers, it's just you don't really have to do much. It's just the name's changed. So I made sure that I talked to, we're part of the Fans First Network, and some more details on that as we go along and hopefully get some more information. But it's a bunch of former SB Nation podcasters getting together and forming a little network. So pretty cool stuff, pretty well organized as well. Let's see here. Pressure pitcher.
Yeah, it's McClanahan, awfully impressive.
He gets out of the inning.
It's annoying that he came in the same draft as Casey Mize, but 25, 30 picks later. But yeah, it was. I don't know who predicted Baez to get the first hit last night, but they were right.
Oh yeah, we had that in the chat. We had that in the chat yesterday. That's right.
Rosarena squared that one up, but it was all part of the plan. This is Eduardo Rodriguez's game plan. Just put the ball in play, get out.
There you go.
And pitch efficiently. Baltimore.
So we got what?
Go ahead.
We got Torque up next.
Yeah, it looks like Torkelson, Meadows, and Cabrera.
The start of the Torkelson onslaught.
Yeah.
That was a 114-mile-an-hour liner from a Rosarena.
You should have
It's the expected batting average on that bad boy. 780. 780. Okay. Yeah, I saw. Seemed like Riley Green was a little bit too anxious, But sometimes you just got to get that first swing out of the way, I guess.
Long season.
see here.
Do you guys like my shirt?
Yeah, it feels sacrilegious, but I guess.
Well, there's rumors. There's rumors
Yeah.
going around. Ray's podcast needs somebody. They need a veteran.
Oh, there you go.
So they might be trading you guys a younger voice.
Yeah, our young voice John is on a cruise for spring break.
A cruise would sound okay to me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was snowing here yesterday. Like, for a while. It didn't really stick, but it was snowing for a good hour.
Oh. My dog's going nuts. I'm going to take her outside.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah.
See it. All right. So we'll put him off the view for a while, just Chris and I, and Torkelson follows it back 1-1.
Oh, you're a good pitch ahead of me.
Oh, I'm watching it on my tablet too, because
Yeah.
I got the Valley Sports app on my tablet. I have it on my tablet. The TV I had in my office, I blocked up because I was trying to organize my gear a little better. And now I just decided instead to have a 3-screen setup, if you will. So, let's see. Yeah, I can't show it because obviously if I show the third screen, it shows the tablet. But anyway, so yeah, now Austin Meadows up to the plate. I'm used to saying Parker Meadows. Well, we are going to see Parker Meadows tomorrow, as we'll be out live for the Toledo opening day as they take on St. Paul, who has some of the best minor league jerseys. I love the St. Paul Saints jerseys.
Have they officially announced the rosters for Toledo yet?
No. Last I checked, So Connor,
I would think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we would have seen it by now. I've been kind of running around a little bit.
Yeah, I've been working my normal hours. So there's less than 500 tickets tomorrow. By the way, I'm going to the website right now, and there has been no announcements yet.
Yeah, the best we can do is, and I think Connor pointed this out, was that they have listed for the first 3 starters Brennan Hannafy, Reese Olson, and Ashton Godot. But beyond that, we don't really know. It's hard. I guess we know that like Badu is in Toledo and some other guys, but I have to assume Parker Meadows is there. It'd be fun to see the actual roster,
Yeah. There's a nice little piece of hit in there. Nice hit there by Austin Meadows, surrounding second on a double. Put the ball the other way with it, Chris.
You know what? I'm just seeing it now. Yeah. So he just laid off a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right above the zone and then waited back on that. I assume that's a straight change from McClanahan at 90 or cutter. I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm going to put I should put the StatCast up on not on the screen, obviously, but it's going to be on one of my tabs over here. By By the way, I don't know about anybody at home, but I have 800 tabs. That's how I operate. Well, technically I have 21, but I do operate with a lot of tabs. So
That
yeah, that
was
last pitch,
a 90-mile-an-hour slider.
yeah, and hit that 97 miles an hour off the bat, and yeah, Cabrera just grounds out the third for the second out.
Yeah, I'm surprised how far behind my TV is. Cut it out, DirecTV.
Knock it off. But no, it's actually a really nice day out here in southeastern Michigan. The weather, woke up this morning, it's like 25 degrees. We're not gonna be the weather guys, but it is fascinating because this time of year supposed to be a little warm up. It's supposed to be in the 60s for opening day against Boston in Detroit.
Nice.
So,
sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time that the Tigers had 2 series before opening day at home. It's probably, I'm sure it happens more often than I realize, but it seems like lately it's been after 1 series or just to start the year they've been at home.
Yeah, and they still haven't finished the field yet, which is kind of surprising to me. But
what's the rush?
No, it's no big deal.
There's no hurry. I mean, who needs to play baseball?
It's crazy. Yeah. I understand weather is a factor, but this winter really has been kind of mild if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they have to wait for certain things to thaw.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be a lot more tactical than I
mean, they announced it months ago in January, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's going to look great. I'm guessing. But
I mean, it's the same thing with. Remember last year we ragged on the Orioles so bad last year when they did that left field and being a game changer for them. So
yeah, it still looks ridiculous to me. The stadium, but it definitely apparently it worked. So good for them. We'll see what the Tigers situation does. They're doing a decent job of making McClanahan throw pitches here. Yeah, the 6th pitch, according to the app, was right at the top of the zone.
Yeah, that was. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he took that.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough pitch for anybody to lay off of, a breaking ball that drops into the top of the zone.
Yeah,
I don't know how anybody ever swings at that.
And so far, he's primarily been fastball and a cutter so far for Shane.
He's got all the pitches, man. He's really good. What's funny is I was talking about, he's the same draft as Mize, and I remember early in that year, I think he's at South Florida. I want to say early in that year there was talk about him going in the top 10, and then he just kind of his velocity declined, or everybody was projecting him as a reliever.
Yeah,
and the Rays just let him fall right into their lap. And now he's like a Cy Young caliber pitcher.
That's what the Rays do.
But hey, you know what? I'll take a 9-pitch at bat from Scope, even if it ends in a strikeout.
Yeah. Ooh. Wait for it, Chris. Wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, an 85-mile-an-hour curveball.
Yeah, on the inside part of your foot, you can't really do much about it.
Yeah, that's one of the nastiest pitches you'll see of the day, I'm sure. Pitching Ninja probably has that all keyed up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's definitely a sword for sure.
Yes.
So we'll probably stick around for about an hour or so, watch the first hour of the game, and then we'll let you go about the rest of your day. Thank you for joining us if you're watching us on the live stream right now.
How many people are on the live stream? I can't see I'm not logged in.
We have 11 currently right now, but again, I should have promoted this better. It was just a last minute spur of the moment idea on my part. So
that's all good.
We just jumped up a little bit too. So yeah, if you care to join us and watch the game and talk baseball, by all means, go for it. And then later on tonight, we'll be doing the usual podcast with the with the categories and what have you. So, and then we'll be off until probably Monday or Tuesday, more than likely. Actually, probably till Monday. Maybe a Sunday night show. We'll see how everything goes this weekend. But yeah,
I mean, you're supposed to head to Toledo on Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah. Actually, Saturday's been canceled. My buddy Corey is not going in the game now, so I'm just going tomorrow with you and Connor. We're gonna be doing that. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna be getting some stuff for the minor league coverage and finally finishing up those scouting reports. You can find those scouting reports on our Patreon. So if you subscribe to our Patreon, you can find almost all of them. There's a few left I still have to put up and finish, but it's well worth it. And the Patreon, all the money goes back to supporting us on the site. So we're in the middle of a commercial break right now. What's up, Chris?
I just threw up the second in our series of articles about Tigers minor leaguers we saw or who are interesting that didn't make our top 25 prospect list. So there's some fun names in there. A lot of relievers this time, but some guys that I don't think many people know about, like Ulysses Campos.
Well, that's
First
a
of
good
all,
one.
being named Ulysses is fun. But yeah, I mean, he's a 21-year-old throwing 96, 97 with a slider, and probably a reliever down the road, but he had a pretty good start to his stateside debut last year.
Oh, nice pitch there by Rodriguez.
Yeah, this is annoying being 3 pitches behind.
I am hearing myself a little bit on your end, but not that much. Occasionally, it's weird. It'll just.
I wonder why. Yeah, the only issue is I have the other setup over on the other side of my basement. It's far away from the TV, and I'm blacked out on my laptop. Nice change up.
That was a nice
That's
change
probably
up.
with a pitch you saw like 30 seconds ago. Yeah.
The Tigers will need, like I said, even the idea of the Tigers trading him before the deadline this year, the beginning of the start of the year. That's a nice strikeout. You're going to me. The idea was kind of ludicrous in a sense because you're asking the Tigers to go on pitching depth that they don't even have. Like we thought they had enough pitching depth. I thought all offseason Tigers will be fine. They have enough guys. Reese Olson is starting this weekend, which is a good thing because we saw him hit the IL originally. He didn't pitch all spring, so let's be the first. And then the other question remains about that too is Bo Brisky's arm injury. It was a right shoulder. What does they say? Upper. What was it? Was the vague talk? The hockey talk? Vague.
Upper arm soreness, I think.
Yeah, tiger uppercut, something like to that effect. I don't know, but yeah, it was the whole thing's weird. So you're hopefully Brisky's fine. Garrett Hill he's going to be pitching on the bullpen. So Rodriguez is your workhorse. Let him do his thing.
I'm looking. Upper arm discomfort. 15-day IL, retroactive to March 27th. So
there's a fly ball there. And now the 2 outs here. It's a pretty efficient inning so far for Eduardo.
Matt Vierling's first chance is Detroit Tiger, I believe.
No, yeah, I think that would be it. Maybe that one before. I'm not sure. By the way, Cody Abraham had a stat that stands out. McClanahan only allowed 9 hits and 2 strikeout counts last season. Opponents had a 126 batting average.
In two strike counts?
Yeah.
So that was the Meadows already has one this year, right?
Yeah. He has only allowed 9 hits and 2 strike counts last year, and batting average to 126. Yeah, Alex, in terms of, we did see Winslow Perez in the backfields, thanks to Terry Neward from Tiger Minor League Tracker. So he was starting to do the rehab process before I left Lakeland, but he's now on the field doing drills. So as far as when he's going to be either in Toledo, I think he's going to probably start the season more than likely in Toledo. You think, Chris, or you going to think he's going to start in Erie?
I think he'll be back in Erie, just based on. God, yeah, this ump has a slow strike call. It's like that was a perfect strike. Based on who else is in Toledo, or at least who we're assuming is in Toledo, because Short is still in this system, Lipsius is there, Palacios, Ibanez. They've got a bunch of infielders. I don't know if and maybe Justin Henry Malloy and Colt Keith maybe even on the infield. So I want to say he'd only played like a month of games in Erie before he went down last year. Maybe it was more like 2 months.
Yeah, it was about almost 2 full months. Yeah.
So I don't know. I could see him either way. We talked about last night that maybe he's not an infielder in the long run. So maybe given what we know about the state of the outfield depth in the system, maybe maybe they move him to the outfield. I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting. Ryan Kreidler just made that put out, right? And it was just like nice little soft toss over to first. So if you look on Statcast, it says that he has like below average arm strength because I don't think he ever really lets it loose. Because I've seen him uncork some pretty damn good throws in the minors. So I'm curious to see if he gets a chance to do that today. I feel like a lot of times he's just not really, throwing as hard as he can.
No, and I know also he had that issue last year with his wrist too. So maybe it's still. I don't think it's an issue. But still getting his feel back for it.
So second hardest hit ball today, Spencer Torkelson, 100 miles an hour, right into the dirt to the shortstop.
Man,
but hey. So yeah, scoreless through two. That pitching matchup we expected so far. Let's see as if this who do we have coming up? We got Kreidler leading off.
Kreidler, Verling, and Baez. Who got a single earlier.
Yeah. Checking these other scores around the league. Around the league with Rogelio and Chris. Atlanta leads Washington 4-2 here in the eighth inning.
We're looking for a sponsor here, by the way, but go ahead.
The Yankees lead the Giants 5-0 in the ninth inning. Aaron Judge, of course, home run in that game. Baltimore is all over Boston, 5-2 in the fifth. We've got the Cubs jumping out ahead of Milwaukee, 4-0. And that's all. That's all. Is that the Cubs? Are they beating up on Corbin Burns?
Yeah.
The Cubs?
I was watching the Yankees and Giants for a little bit, and then I watched the first inning of the Cubs and Brewers game. And so here's Ryan Kreidler. Do the bouncing thing. And now here's Ryan Kreidler about it on the plate. That was very bad exaggeration. I don't think anybody likes my voices, so I'm going to stop.
At least you don't sound like Buck Martinez, man. I can't. Yeah. Every time I hear that dude's voice, it's like jarring to me. I'm like, I can't believe anybody talks like that. Like, where is he from? He's from California. Like, how? Sounds like a Muppet. Look at Kreidler up there taking pitches left and right. Too many pitches, possibly. No. So what happened here? How did this?
Especially with him, with a guy like Shane, you want to wait the last possible second to put your bat out there for the bat path because
he's providing a lot of the power, right?
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good pitch there by Shane. He's got a really good extension on his pitches, so everything crazily moves. So yeah.
Well, it's just wild thinking like, yeah, he was like, oh, it's a reliever operation, and like, doesn't look like a reliever to me at all. They really cleaned him up. That's one of those things. Like when we were discussing in our other chats, one of the that's Kreidler strikes out swinging. One of the big debates here when the Tigers draft third overall, there's a chance that the two top college hitters will be off the board, and then you're looking at Paul Skeens, who looks like Roki Sasaki right now. He's sitting 97 to 100 all game with a pretty nasty slider. It's like, do you spend the third pick on a guy like that who looks like a front of the rotation starter soon, or you just build them? Do you just keep building pitchers because teams are so good at that now? I mean, you can't turn everybody into a 6'6", 240-pound fireballer, but I don't know. It's kind of that old debate of do you draft hitters and develop pitchers or what?
Well, I think the Tigers have been able to at least show some aptitude to at least develop pitching. So
aptitude, yeah.
Aptitude, thank you. Aptitude, yeah. Jesus.
Ineptitude would be what they showed in terms of developing hitting.
Yeah, which is what they are still unfortunately known for.
Yeah. Oh, what do we got? We got a ground up. Well, what are we thinking about the game time on this one? We're already at Heading to the top of the third here, or bottom of the third here soon, and after 45 minutes,
It's pretty
full
good.
Jackson.
I think it's a good pace.
Yeah, that's it'll be like 2:15.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing about the thing about Buck Martinez is getting back to before I forget about Buck Martinez is that it sucks that he had cancer and it's really bad, but he just does that thing where he just goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's almost like
he's the biggest puker ever.
Maybe I need to do that too. Like it's just
I
can't
it's
talk
very much
I can't.
why do you talk that way?
Yeah, my speech blows. So I mean, or not blows. I'm confident in what I know, but sometimes I can't. I always I stumble over my words all the time. So
Yeah, but your voice is fine. It's Buck Martinez. It's the voice. It's like I don't know. What do I say? Like he's gargling with licorice or something like that. Like I don't know. But Tigers, like you know what? I'll say this: the Tigers are striking out. They're facing a really good pitcher, but they're making him throw strikes. And Javi Baez gets his first walk of the year. Javi Baez, 1-for-1 with a walk. Are they gonna let him loose here for Riley Green? Get Baez to second, or are they just gonna let Riley Green hit a tank?
they should let him hit a tank. If anything they can get their advantage of right now because they're going to need it. But yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to make a Javi insert a bad joke about Javi Baez here.
Everything's coming together from my projection to him walk or strike out less than 27% of the time. So far, it's 0%. Feel pretty good about it. But this is can't be terribly fun for Riley Green.
He's in his home area.
He's in his home state, but facing a lefty with an upper 90s fastball. Although McClanahan's arm angle isn't the sort of the traditional, like, terrifies lefties. It's more over the top, so I don't think it's it probably doesn't feel like
hey, that works.
Did he just hit that off the ground?
Yeah, almost. It seemed like he hit off the ground.
Oh, and then Haas immediately pops
okay,
up.
Okay, let's watch. I'm gonna watch it in the replay here.
I thought that bounced, man.
It looked like it bounced from they used from the home plate. It was a golf swing. Either way, it was a chip shot. That works. And yeah,
Haas immediately popped up.
Yeah,
but
yeah, damn it. There you go. That sucks.
Well, I mean, they're on pace to get. They're still on pace to get McClanahan out after maybe 5-6 innings. I'm not sure if that's all that great when you're, talking about the Rays bullpen, but if you can make the starter work, that's always helpful. See more pitches.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting because I assume that they're going to start subbing guys in once they take the McClanahan out. Like if they bring in a righty, I bet Maton comes in to hit for Kreidler. You might even see Carpenter come in for Miggy.
Yeah, I think that's how often the question is when how often before you put Carpenter in a situation where he's gonna be out there almost every day.
I don't know, man. It's a tough one because he's just a guy. He didn't have the draft pedigree, didn't have the prospect pedigree. He just hit his way to the majors and then kept hitting and hit in spring. But that's the sort of guy that just needs to keep hitting forever. Like he's got to just keep hitting. So if they put him in there and he hits, he'll probably play again. And if he hits some more, they'll keep playing him. But that's my whole thing going back to when we were projecting who was going to get taken, him or Badu, was that I thought that any slump from Carpenter would render him basically useless. Not to be too brutal about it. He's a very fine human being, but as a baseball player, he needs to hit and hit for power. And if he ever slumps, he's not giving you anything on the bases or in the field. But this team needs hitting and power more than anything, really. So they went with him.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people, some people were upset about Badu not making it, but as Scott Harris said, something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, that they have 4 really good outfielders, and he was just it was just a tough choice kind of thing. So, but he's gonna be part of the big plans over the summer.
That Riley Green single was 35.4 miles per hour exit velocity. I'm gonna guess that he didn't have a hit on anything lighter than that. Hit weaker than that last year, but I'm gonna look for it now.
Is it Jose Siri who he spent some time in the Astro system?
He did. He came up with the Reds. He was always super tooled up. I remember he had a couple of pretty monster seasons in the minors, but he was a guy that was always thought that maybe there's too much swing and miss. But yeah, I think he's bounced around from the Reds to the Astros to the Rays. So,
and he just hit one out of here. That's lovely.
Yeah, tooled up. That was a hanging cutter.
Yeah, it looked like yeah.
Let's see.
Well,
yep.
Yeah,
cutter right over the heart of the plate. Cut right into his.
I like the graphics by Bally, by the way, though. They shows the exit velocity and launch angle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, with the color palette for the team. That's a nice work, Bally people. We're sorry about your worried about your jobs, but I think that
maybe this is just a way for job security post Bally Sports.
Well, let's just hope that that's not the deciding run of the game.
You got old-fashioned pitcher's duel right now. Right. So next game up, by the way, is Mets and Marlins starting at 4:10. Speaking of the Mets, by the way, some bad news. Justin Verlander. Did you see that, Chris? About Verlander?
I did. Yes, a strained teres major announced right before the season starts. I mean, it was. So we mentioned last night when we were doing our season preview. I have the Mets are a very good, very expensive team. Oh, excuse me, but it's awfully scary to lead your rotation with a couple 40-year-olds, right? Like, even no matter how good they are, and Scherzer and Verlander are among the best ever to be pitching in that age, but Father Time is undefeated, and Verlander looked awesome in spring, but all it takes is a little tweak. So, and the Mets don't have the pitching depth, so that's bad news for them. And I think most Tigers fans still really like Justin Verlander and want to see him succeed, even if he's in another uniform. So that's kind of sucks for us too. But
it was a good example. Yeah, Alex brings up in the chat is absolutely right. Some good framing there by Eric Haas, and he needs all the framing he can get here.
Yeah. So. He stole strike 3, which was away, and then just grabbed that one at the bottom of the zone a minute ago. So, that's a nice bounce back from Erod, but that's kind of what we expect from him, right? Like, he's the veteran guy, gives it a bomb, strikeout, ground out, still thinking averaging like 15 pitches per inning. Let's see.
So right now it's 1-0 on the Jose Siri home run, just the last inning, as Rodriguez is about 45 or 46 pitches through right now. So this is the only thing about baseball that sucks is the in between stuff where there's a way for game action. We can talk about. I don't know if anybody's brackets look or anything like that, but so the brackets are destroyed.
Well, I got an Arby's commercial going on here, followed by a Ford truck commercial. No, I mean, I think
I got an expert heating and cooling commercial right now. What are you gonna say, Chris? I'm sorry.
I'm still doing my Riley Green search here.
Yeah.
He had one hit last year with an exit velocity under 60 miles per hour. So this year, first hit of the season, 35 miles per hour. It's going to ruin it for the rest of the season.
By the
So
way,
that's fine.
Patrick Corbin with a pretty decent start for the Nationals. Nationals are down 4-2 in the top of the ninth right now in Washington. As the Braves are just 11 hits that fell through them, but Corbin's final line, was it a good start? Was it a good start? No, but I guess it's Braves offense. 3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The bullpen is what held it for the Nationals. Is former Tiger for 30 seconds, Erasmo Ramirez with scoreless innings. He had 2 scoreless innings, 2 hits, a lot of walk and strikeout, and he had 7 swing and misses in 2 innings of work. And after that, the Nationals bullpen has only allowed just 2 hits since. So they piecemeal together and been able to hang in the game. But everybody talks about the Tigers. Kelber Ruiz, who was the big prospect that the Nationals got when they were trading away everybody, is 2 for 4.
Yeah, we got Torque back up here. Couple of good hack there at their first pitch, but another ground out. I was looking. The Orioles are bombing up on the Red Sox, and we didn't really get into. We talked about the division winners last night, and I'm not a big believer in like the Orioles taking a step forward this year. I think that they'll probably be similar to what they did last year. They just didn't do enough for their pitching. Man, the Red Sox look bad. They look like Heim
Really?
Bloom is getting fired bad. There. I just now saw the Torkelson looked like he got shifted.
I thought they can't do the shift.
No, I don't. They can't. But it looks like they had him basically like a quarter inch to the right of second base. Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, you can do that. You can stand as long as you're not on the other side of the bag when the pitch is thrown.
But that's technically a shift.
Well, there's no other way to stop it unless you draw lines. That's why a lot of guys the shift is not going to have a huge effect because they're still basically if he had hit that to the opposite field he would have been fine. But yeah, it's not going to be a hey Austin Meadows, look at you. This is his first game back in Tampa, right?
Yeah, they gave him a standing ovation before the game.
That's nice.
Yeah.
2 for 2 against the lefty. Who said this guy can't hit lefties?
I think we did.
Probably. It wouldn't be fun to have a Miguel Cabrera 2-run homer here, but what was I going to say? Oh, just going back to Boston, like that rotation, who do you rely on in that? Nick Pivetta, Corey Kluber, Chris Sale, Tanner Hoke, Cutter Crawford. Like, that's not a good, reliable rotation. In the offense, Devers is really good. I like Tristan Cassis. That was John's rookie of the year pick. Yeah. But yeah, like I just don't. They look bad. I think they're like 70, 75 wins this year.
When Corey Kluber's number one, I was going to say if you have the ghost of Corey Kluber as your ace to start the season, that's a problem. And 3 innings. Yeah, he didn't look good today at all.
He came back a little bit last year, but yeah, he's nothing close to what he used to be, and it's just no. I don't know what Boston is doing. There's no they go out and sign Kenley Jansen for some reason. They got Yoshida who looked really good in the World Baseball Classic, but yeah, it's hard for me to picture them having much success this year. Look at Adley Rutschman, 3 for 3 with a walk, homer. He might be MVP this year.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big season.
Gunnar Henderson over 2 with the.
Why does Boston act like they're a team that's poor? They're one of the best. I mean, they're one of the biggest baseball markets, and they spend like the Rays now. And I know why they're doing it because John Henry doesn't want to spend. I mean, meanwhile,
that's so weird.
To me.
for forever they were spending and like, yeah, they brought in a guy from the Rays, and I think to be like the Rays, which is just weird to me. I don't know, man. I guess when you're in the AL East, you can try to compete with the Yankees and spend, and the Blue Jays, or you can try to compete with the Rays and not spend. And I don't think the Rays are very good at what they do, but it's not a model that I want any team to emulate, even though the Tigers might be doing a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Red Sox are yeah, pathetic basically. Like how do you let Mookie Betts walk? Seriously. I don't it's I feel sort of the same way about the Nationals. Like why are you trading Juan Soto? But at least they had their World Series and things. It was time to rebuild, I guess. But well, there's a Miggy double play. What
Yep, there it is.
was he out for real? Was he really busting it down the line?
I thought
Yeah, that's very strange.
they're appealing. It looks like they're trying to appeal it. Maybe.
No, they're bringing him in.
Oh, okay.
That was weird. Yeah, he didn't. All right. Oh, he was safe. That's weird.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Todd was right. Yeah. I do remember when Tiger fans were fawning all over Hein Bloom.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There were there are definitely some people we know who are really hoping to get him.
Yeah.
But it's like, but again, like I think, like you said, I think a lot of it has to go to John Henry, right? Like I don't think Hein Bloom was like, hey man, I can't wait to come here and trade Mookie Betts,
Yeah.
right? Like if he did, like, that's crazy. Like the second best player in baseball over the last decade.
And meanwhile, John Henry owns a Premier League team too. It's not like he's hurting for money. And again, I know
No.
those two are not the same. Two different types of ownership, but it's not like John Henry's poor. And nor is
None
Boston.
none of these guys are poor.
Yeah.
It's just it's they run the team the way they want to, and it's. I mean, I don't mind seeing Boston fans in misery a little bit. They've had, in my opinion, about 6,000 times too much success in the sports world over the last 2 decades. But baseball is better when the Red Sox and the Yankees are both good, as long as you don't have to watch them every night on ESPN.
By the way, Mike Porcello tweeted, "Well, at least the shift's no longer." Oh, right, and it was a Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah.
Round out.
Yeah, yeah. Torque seemed legitimately perplexed and angered by that.
Yeah, I was too. Like I just don't. Again, when I think of shift, that looked like a shift to me.
Yeah, you can go up to the edge of the base. You just can't be on the other side of the base, and you can't be on the grass. You could be the last inch of the dirt on the other side of the bag. That's the thing. Like unless they put like little boxes on the infield where the players have to stand, teams are going to do that. We're going to see teams. Certain players, they're going to put a fifth infielder in there. They can do that. They can put two infielders or three infielders on one side if there are five infielders, or right on the grass. They're going to put outfielders all over the place. Yeah, it's teams are going to mess around with it. So some guys are going to get the benefit from the shift, but it's not going to be nearly as drastic as most people think.
Yeah, now that I see it kind of in play, I'm not sure it's going to work.
Oh, nice changeup. Again, I'm far behind you guys, but by you guys, I mean everybody.
Right. So, I kind of have to pause watching him bat.
It's an interesting fly out to the right fielder in center field. I wonder if Riley Green lost it in the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, they had the white ceiling. They had the white ceiling, right?
Yeah, so they're showing the replay, and yeah, I mean, I guess I think Cabrera was safe.
Yeah, he was safe all day.
Yeah, so I guess I mean obviously you would want to get out there and get the starter to throw more pitches, but it's like, I don't know why they didn't challenge that.
Yeah.
I know there's a certain time limit now this year where they have to challenge it, so maybe they got rushed and didn't think they could get it in.
He's definitely safe. Happy opening day, Troy was watching with us on YouTube. So
Clayton Thomas is first at bat.
Luke. Luke from the Michigan and Trumbull podcast /site.
Nice.
Good to see him in here. I think he's a native of Florida too. I'm pretty sure you are, Luke. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but yeah. So 2-1, just fouls it back. But yeah, that was, I don't know what the ump was watching there. They should have challenged that. Right now, getting underway. Philadelphia playing the Rangers, and then the Pirates and the Reds in the battle of who could care less. There.
Yeah. I mean, I like some of the Reds' young pitching. Hunter Green is about the hardest throwing starting pitcher in baseball, and Ashcraft is pretty good, and then Lodolo ended up being better than I expected.
Yeah.
But there's not much to write home about there on the offense just yet. They do have some fun players coming through the system, but I think with Spencer Steer, I think is in the offense. He's kind of fun. But Christian Encarnacion Strand and Ellie De La Cruz were both injured to begin the year, which is kind of a bummer. Remember Ellie De La Cruz last year? He hit that home run that conked the fan in the. I think it was Double-A. He had a home run and it hit a fan in the head and knocked it out.
I thought that was at Dayton. Wasn't it at Dayton?
I think it may have been at Dayton, so it was in high A. But yeah, he hit because I think he hit 2 home runs. He hit a home run from each side, and yeah, just like.
Oh man, that was one of those.
I forgot about that.
Was it off? Was it off? It was off of West Michigan, right? It was off a.
I believe so. Yeah, I don't remember who. I'm gonna go ahead and check. I maybe check my Twitter real quick.
It was Jose De La Cruz. It was right. It was the.
Ellie De La Cruz hit a guy in the head. Let's see. Let me see. I'm searching around here looking for videos of Ellie De La Cruz fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got it. I found it.
Nice.
I found it. So for everybody who's watching us on YouTube, be ready for quite the sight, because I
just remember.
Go ahead, Chris.
I hate to I feel like the fan might have already been wearing a helmet, or maybe wasn't paying attention, as I recall, but it was like comical the way that got hit in this.
He was totally not paying attention at all here.
Yeah. Who is that? Michael Beanline?
You think so?
I think he's wearing like a bike helmet, so I don't I hope it's not a special needs person or something, but just slow it down a little bit. Oh, good shirt. It's tough. We're presuming that this person is okay because we never heard about anything else, but but
I feel bad. I'm sorry. I feel bad laughing. I'm sorry.
In Los Angeles.
All right, no more.
Fly ball crushed to right field and deep.
You got the point. You got the gist of it if you're watching us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got the gist of it. I'm a bad person.
No. I didn't say that.
No, I so you know what? Yeah, Tigers have 4 hits to Tampa's 2. Tigers have 1 walk. Rays have 1 walk. Just a matter of one team hit for power and one team didn't so far. Be nice to see maybe Scope or Kreidler run into one, as Leland used to say, right?
Yeah.
Put him out there, he might run into one. I think that's think that's Hinch's philosophy with pinch hitters and like, platoon guys. He wants guys who can just run into one, hit for a little bit of power.
Just a little bit.
How are we feeling about Scope socks?
His socking is pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of dig that. I don't remember him doing that last year, but maybe I just don't pay much attention to the outfits. And what about these Rays throwback jerseys?
I love them. I love them. I absolutely love them.
When they had Greg Vaughn and Canseco and Wade Boggs. And,
yeah. Rolando Rojo.
That was a
yeah, he strikes out again. So waiting for the fans to
Scope struck out again.
Yep.
Yep.
Here it is. Wasn't even close.
Yeah, I mean that's 99 up at your eyes.
Yeah. If there's one guy who can't afford a slow start, it's him. I mean, you have legit competition breathing down your neck a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things because Scope is notoriously streaky, right? Like even in his good years, he would have these terrible stretches, but in last year, it just never got better. And this is McClanahan seems to have settled in nicely now. He's pounding the zone and
he's getting ahead of he's getting ahead of Tigers. What was Carter supposed to do with that swing there? I mean, it was just like a kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Crowley's got the same socks, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's throwing a lot of curves too. In the last couple innings, just been very effective on the inside part of it. He's generated 12 swings and misses so far.
Jeez.
Is
that counting the Kreidler strikeout just now?
There it is. Oh, yeah.
13.
That it was on a changeup too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's got all of the pitches.
Yeah.
He is a damn good pitcher.
He's dialed in.
I don't think the Rays have extended him though, right? So they'll be trading him in 2 years.
Yeah, probably for another guy that can pitch like him.
Yeah, I mean that's a nasty changeup right there. You're going. He's throwing 97, and he locates it right at the bottom corner of the plate. That's not fun.
Jeez. Now I just saw the pitch.
It's time for Veerling to make some hard contact here. That's his specialty, right?
Yeah. Do you see the action on that tailing action on that pitch?
Yeah, it was not fair.
Man.
But he's getting close to 80 pitches.
As that before, we'll see the plethora of arms from the Rays bullpen. That was the strike zone's been kind of inconsistent. He's not called either. He's called that high strike or he hasn't.
Which one on the first pitch?
Yeah.
That's funny. My buddy just asked me if Scope starts slow, do we cut him?
Yeah, Tiger fans are gonna if there's one thing that Detroit's gonna do is gonna be on box score watch for Jonathan Scope, whether he can produce or not right away. And I said this yesterday, if he cannot afford a slow start.
Well, Veerling flies out to
right field.
Yeah, well,
it's not a strikeout, I guess.
No.
Mayton's not pitch. By the way, somebody asked about where Mayton was. They don't really go against. He's not going against lefties. Platoon splits.
At least, I at least not to begin the year. Yeah. I think he'll come in for Kreidler probably, or possibly Scope, the next time through the order.
Yeah,
assuming that McClanahan's not in there any longer. But yeah, that's 5 quick innings, 4.5 quick innings, if you will.
13 swings and misses from McClanahan.
Rue McClanahan.
Shout out to the Golden Girls, and shout out to Danielle, a former writer over at Motor City Bengals, who is a big Golden Girls fan.
Golden Girls, solid. Oh, Atlanta scored a bunch in the 9th there.
Let's do a score. Let's do a score update here. Still 8-2 Baltimore playing in Boston. Yeah, the Braves have jumped. Just was saying how the Nationals kept it close. Not anymore. 7-2 Atlanta in the bottom of the ninth. And let's see here. Other games for later. Or just another game just got underway. Minnesota at Kansas City. The Mets playing the Marlins. And the Battle of the Birds, the Cardinals, and the Jays, who I thought would be the good World Series prediction. So that's my hot take World Series predictions. Then later at 7, the next game up will be the White Sox as they travel to Houston to take on the Astros. Rockies and Padres at 9:40. To see Shohei Ohtani, you have to wait till 10:07. Angels and the A's. Then I actually like this late night matchup. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. That kicks off at 10:10. Diamondbacks were talking yesterday. I believe that is. Yep. Versus Reyes. Somebody asked me, or somebody was in the chat yesterday saying, how come we didn't give Zach Gallen any love?
I thought somebody mentioned Zach Gallen.
Well, for more consideration for awards and what have you.
Yeah, I mean he was really, somebody mentioned him being really, really good second half of last year. I'm always a little bit wary. He's had some injury issues in the past, but and it's just like, Arizona's not the best place to pitch, and that's a tough division. But if you're a good pitcher, you're a good pitcher, and he is a good pitcher. So yeah, he might. I don't know. Like none of us, we don't see him in the future.
Yeah,
We're just naming some guys who we think are good and might win awards. It's best we can do.
we're not
looks like the Red Sox are actually threatening right now.
Really?
Yeah, started the sixth with single, including Yoshida. I don't know if is that his first hit as a big leaguer. It is. Got a single and RBI. Look at Erod is the king of the called strike. Nicely located.
He's been keeping
and
the
well framed again.
That's all you can ask.
Yeah, I if he's gonna go 5-6 innings and only give up one run, I like our chances. It's just no, that's fine. Routine fly ball to center field.
Nice frame job though by Eric Hosser.
Yeah, he did. He framed it up again, and Bethencourt right there. Yeah, we're looking at how many pitches has he thrown
so far?
66. He's 66 with one batter left here, and not to jinx it.
Yeah,
he's really he's getting. Ump is giving him seems like an inch around the entire plate, and he's taking it, which is kind of who he is, right? He lives around the edges. We saw the one time he left a cutter in the middle of the plate. It was bad news.
By the way, our Discord, thanks for everybody who's come over from our Discord too. So there is a Tigers game day thread in there. So if you want to join our Discord, I will send the link in. Or if you're just joining us on YouTube, I'll send you the Discord link. We've had a pretty healthy, thanks to Cameron. Shout out to Cameron. We have had a steady influx of new people lately that had joined the server. So
yeah, I like it in there. It's a solid mix of serious baseball talk and then utter silliness.
Yeah,
lots of puns, lots of ridiculous jokes, funny memes and stuff like that. And so far, not much in the way of trollish behavior or people acting like jerks. Look at Erod go, man.
I guess there's another Tigers Discord out there, and some of the comments in there were, "Miggy, you fuck! I hate that effing fat loser. Hope he tears his ACL again." And sub Miggy out for Terry. Although one of the names on that Discord looks like the same one that's in here, so that's interesting. But yeah.
So you got the Mets Marlins game. Scherzer threw half an inning. Let's see. Strikeout, ground out. Or not Scherzer threw a half inning. Alcantara threw a half an inning. He's pretty good. Well, the Twins have loaded the bases against Zach Greinke in the first inning. So there are 2 outs.
Some news, by the way. By the potential for the Pirates, John Heyman reported this earlier. There's an agreement on dollars between Brian Reynolds and the Pirates, which, first of all, that's astonishing to hear that. A major conceptual issue has prevented a deal. Reynolds has moved a lot to try to get a deal done, but there remains a disagreement on this key point. Unknown, the sides may push past the 410 deadline.
What's the key point?
The key point is conceptual issue.
Conceptual?
John Heyman. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Weird. I wonder what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. So the
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead. No.
I would say, yeah, it would be nice to see the Pirates spend some money on a player as a foundational piece, but I don't know. I kind of enjoy. The Tigers haven't done it, but it always is nice to have them be your farm system. Go out and get a couple decent players, but
yeah, the Pirates have been the Yankees farm system now for close to a decade. First pitcher out of the bullpen was we got asked in the chat
for today.
Yeah.
Well, it's 1-0 game. I guess right now, I mean, you got to figure Erod goes at least one more inning as long as he's, doesn't get hit too hard. So then the 7th inning, I'm thinking maybe Foley.
I was going to say either. Go ahead.
I'd say come back. He's a lefty starter. Come back with a hard throwing righty, but
yeah, or maybe even wing hitter.
Yeah. They're not suddenly McClanahan isn't working so hard.
Yep. And good night. Javi Baez. Boom. Done.
Yeah. Riley Green just crushed the ball, but not to the right spot.
I'm behind you all of a sudden now.
Yeah. I wouldn't say crush the ball, but 388 feet, they say. 100 mile an hour exit velocity.
Yeah, and as somebody pointed out in the chat, it's 3 straight fastballs too.
To Javi Baez?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he may be expecting nothing but sliders now, or breaking balls, or changeups from a lefty, but I mean, it's a pretty good fastball, and it's a pretty good breaking ball, and pretty good changeup. Be a good time for Haas to get a hold of one too, right? He seems like the ideal candidate here to take a 99 mile an hour fastball and put it over the fence. Yep. Or that. He got a hold of that one, but just missed it, I think. And I thought he had it for a second.
All right, sorry about that. I was just finishing up some other duties.
Beauty. Yeah, so the Cubs had the 1-4 run inning, and other than that, there's been nothing else going on in that game.
Yeah.
Corbin Burns with 3 walks. Stroman with 8 Ks. Not bad. And Dansby Swanson, that's a nice debut, 3 for 4.
All right, paying off dividends. Isn't that weird how the Braves shortstop situation?
It was, I mean, they signed and extended everyone, and then they just let Swanson go. I don't know, but like we were talking last night, it's hard to doubt the Braves' judgment on these sorts of things. But it did seem odd that it seemed like they were going to hand it to Riley Green's old teammate Vaughn Grissom, but then they sent him to AAA. And same with Braden Shoemake, and then so I don't know. I know that Mike Petriello was speculating that later in the season they'll just trade for Tim Anderson, but
Really?
yeah,
That
I don't
makes
know.
a lot of
He
sense.
doesn't.
It makes some sense. Yeah.
Yeah, although our buddy James was talking about he didn't think that the White Sox would tear things down completely this year. Although I think Anderson's a free agent after next year, so maybe you get a drop on him. But at this point, we talked about it before, that the Braves, there's not much left in their system to trade. It would have to be like
No,
Vaughn Grissom.
I mean, terms of top 30 prospects, too, this is a system that has been kind of depleted. With the Tigers making a trade for Jimenez for Malloy. Malloy was probably going to be one of those guys that could have made potentially make the major league roster at some point. But right now, it's all it's pitching heavy right now. Guys, you have guys like the next prospect up really is somebody like Owen Murphy. You have Cole Phillips, who's down. They have a lot of like double A or even below that. They have double A, single A guys. And then outside of that, you have a kind of a drop off. You have Braden Shoemake and the Tavares kid too. And
Sorry, just had to let the dog in.
I was talking. Foley is warming up. So
yeah, it figures it's a close game. He's like kind of one of their trusted relief arms, and it's just the opposite of the more touch and feel lefty.
what I was telling you, what I was saying was that some of the arms right now, all the Braves arms are their top prospects are young arms that are under Double A.
Yeah, I mean, they brought up Schuster and Dodd for the rotation this year, but yeah, that there's they brought up their young players really quickly, and they signed to extensions, and so they could be in some trouble if they run into a bunch of injuries, I suppose. But it's a really deep roster and some pretty good pitching, so I'm not too concerned about them. I think I had them winning the World Series, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And the reason why, you're talking about the Mets being in third place, but even I think the Mets and Phillies are not as deep. Although you did mention last night that Dabrowski would do anything to address any of the depth concerns, but still, I don't think Philly has enough trade capital, if you will, to make it happen.
Yeah, so at this point, their trade chips are Painter, but he's hurt. He would be a big one. They have Mick Abel, who's also a pretty good pitching prospect, and then is it Justin Crawford, Carl Crawford's son, who was their first rounder last year.
Yeah.
And then they have forgive my generic response, but they have a pretty interesting young Asian hitter, I think, but I don't know his name. I feel bad about that.
At least the Mets have. They have Brett Batty. They have a couple guys too that they can definitely use for trade chips to help out to get their rotation. Which I'm surprised. Again, I understand why you don't want to trade all your prospects, but I'm surprised at least they didn't make a move or two. At least move Batty when you also have was Rosario? Is that the other kid that the Mets have?
The Mets have like a solid top 10 of that they can move. They have Beatty, they have Vientos, they have Ronnie Mauricio.
Mauricio, that's who it was. Yeah, Mauricio.
Yeah, they have who else am I missing? They have Kevin Parada, the catcher they drafted, who probably not a catcher, but and Francisco Alvarez they could move theoretically if they wanted to. So yeah, the Mets have the most prospect capital of those teams in the NL East, but they also might have the most immediate depth concerns. You already lost Quintana to what is it, a non-cancerous tumor, or something like that. Still sounds kind of scary. Diaz out for the year. Verlander hurt. You're looking at what's the rotation now? You got Scherzer, you've got Senga, and who's backing him up? I don't remember who their fourth and fifth starters are now. Is David Peterson in there? But Yeah. I don't know. I felt the same way kind of about the Yankees, but they do have some prospect capital to move still if they want to. I don't know if they're going to move Jason Dominguez ever based on all the hype. And Volpe, I saw he walked in his first plate appearance and stole a base, so I didn't check to see what else he did today.
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. All the Yankee fans are already just you know how they are.
Yeah. 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout and a steal. Decent start for Garrett Cole. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, no runs.
No, he looked good. He looked really good earlier. I watched a little bit of that earlier. That was my guy. I thought that would be coming out to. That was my prediction for the Cy Young, only because I feel. I don't know. Like it was just. I know it sounded like more like a generic guest, if you will, but I think he's due to put up
Give
like
him
a really
his
good
due.
year.
I'm thinking that I think Foley's coming in now to face a Rosareda.
Yeah, because Paredes just singled. Yeah, so
yeah.
And Foley's he's known for his sinkers. He got a heavy pitch, so
yeah, get to roll up a double play, and that was a nice line drive. Yep. Yeah, looks like Rodriguez is tiring. Probably time to get him out there. Good start until here in the 6th inning. Not terribly surprising for a guy that's first out of the year. Losing it in his pitches after 75 pitches or so, but what you hope is that Foley can shut it down so he doesn't get charged with like 3 earned runs instead of just 1 after pitching pretty well.
yeah, he's good at inducing the ground ball. So we'll see if that happens here.
Foley got the little stash. It's funny. I remember seeing him in West Michigan, 4 or 5 years ago now. Interviewing him. Were you there when we interviewed him? You might have been.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed Soto, and it's kind of wild thing about that. We interviewed these guys who have been in the big leagues multiple years and now are on other teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you look through the Tiger Minor League report archive of interviews. I mean, we had Parker Meadows, and it's like night and day difference. And it was his first season.
Yeah,
it's his first season up there. So
I'm looking. I used to just do the interviews on my phone, and I'm looking here to see. I want to see who I have in here. A lot of recordings of my son, of course, but Jacob Robson from sometime in 2017 or earlier.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, we're sitting.
Yeah,
we're sitting on like I remember that I was behind you and you were doing the interview, and it was really I remember it was a sunny day. The only reason I remember that is because Robson was in his flip flops, and I don't know why that stood out to me.
And I think Bichette and Vlad Jr. were taking batting practice behind us.
Oh right? Yeah, and we were just in every single hit by Guerrero was just like a thundercracker, just
out a tree. Yeah, so I got Robson, Anthony Castro, Gregory Soto, Jason Foley, Zach Houston, Austin Sodders. Remember Austin Sodders?
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He was an interesting lefty, and then he got hurt, and that was it. But yeah, those are all on my phone. What else we have in here? Lance Parrish, Ray Rivera, Ulrich Bojarski.
Oh wow,
another one of Parrish. Franklin Perez, Matt Manning, Alex Fido, Casey Mize, Doug Mankiewicz.
Doug Mankiewicz pissed off Doug Mankiewicz, you should say.
Yeah. And Foley comes in and throws a breaking ball. I like it. I think looking at it, I think he's throwing a harder slider this year. I have to look at you might be able to pull that up in Savant, but I think his slider is like 2 miles an hour harder, which and it looks like it's got more sweep to it to me. So that could be an important pitch for him.
Yeah, he's got according to this, just based off that one pitch, it is up. I mean, there's establishing an average, but in terms of miles per hour, he was throwing 90. I want to say he was throwing 94, 96 last year.
I more 95, 97, I think. But
okay.
But close enough, right? Rosarena has a beef there with that pitch. Uh-oh. Well.
Yeah, that was a
So
stat
much
there.
for that.
14 of the 28 runners he allowed to score. And as
He
soon as
tried the front. Yeah.
oh,
Sorry, he tried to front door the slider, and it ran right across the heart of the plate.
Rosarena is such a good hitter. Just it blows my mind how the Cardinals. I'm still miffed. The Cardinals just let him walk.
Yeah, well, now they've got an outfield of O'Neill and Walker and Newbar and Donovan, and Carlson, their former top prospect, is just kind of their fourth outfielder now. But yeah, it was a really nice piece of hitting. It's a poor pitch choice from Fetter's going out to talk to Foley already. Wonder what's going on. Maybe say, hey, don't do that pitch again.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, it's good now. They got a pinch hitter. Okay, so they bring in a pinch hitter. So they're letting them know how to approach him.
Jeremy said it best. Randy is one of the most clutch human beings ever.
Yes, yeah. To the extent that clutch exists, it's hard to argue with what he's done on the biggest stages, right? And that monster playoff season a couple years ago, WBC, making great catches and hitting the ball, and didn't he hit like 600 or 650 in the WBC?
Yeah,
something absurd.
Yeah, and then he did that play he made in left field, and then he did that pose. Ridiculous, just flat out ridiculous.
Oh boy!
Well, what's going on now?
It's like he tried to throw a changeup.
I'm way behind you now. I'm way behind you.
Or the slowest sinker he's thrown all year, or what? But another ground ball hit. It's 3-0. So just like what I was saying, it's kind of unfair to Erod. Not necessarily unfair, but it's just a bummer that a little seeing eye single. Makes it 3-0. Luke Raley. So that's a tough way to start. Tough way to start the season for Foley. 2 batters, 2 hits.
Who was that guy that Baltimore had? They always hit Tigers pitching well. They look like a dude that you see
Luke
hunting
Scott.
in a blind. Yeah, Luke Scott. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he reminded me of Luke Scott, not because of his name, but just kind of had like minus the beard, of course.
One of the all-time Tigers killers. It was interesting when they were showing the.
I just see this hit, which was, by the way, for those that were wondering on StatCast, how'd that look? Let's see here. 83. It was 83, and same thing with
Rosarenas was 93 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Neither of them were hit hard. Rosarenas was. Reddy's had 105. Yeah. It's a shame, but Tigers are just going to have to hit a grand slam, I guess.
Stranger things have happened. Remember when in Comerica or at Tropicana Field? By the way, it was Evan Woodbury on Twitter yesterday. They got the double play finally. Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say
broke a back, got the double play, but 2 batters played. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, I was just gonna say, Evan Woodbury just posted this yesterday that the Rays all time have a 1-game lead over the Tigers all time. So
in their all-time series?
Yeah, in the all-time series, yeah. I think it was some
I've got basically 2 memories of Tigers Rays games. One was, I think, Carlos Guillen getting hitting for the cycle. I thought he did that against the Rays with basically a single stretched into a double. And the other is they had that crazy 9th inning comeback. Was that 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
They scored like 7-8 innings in the 9th, or 7-8 runs in the 9th inning to come back and win. But those are my only Tigers Rays memories that I can off the top of my head.
There was one game. I think it was during the late, like, expansion year, or 99, 2000, when I think it was during the Greg Vaughn era, whose son, by the way, his son played up here in the US PBL,
That's right. I forgot about that.
collegiate league, if you will, or developmental league up here at Jimmy John's Field in Macomb. I was trying to think. It was, I want to say that there was I'm trying to remember what year it was. I'll have to look it up, but I recall a very good Tiger pitching performance against the Rays that was kind of like unexpected. And I'm gonna look that up real quick now because now it's driving me nuts. Or that was
the Rays bring in Colin Poche, a lefty, to face Torkelson. As I recall, he's got a very funky. What was it? There was something very strange about Colin Poche, but it's been a while since I. Well, and there's an out already. Outstanding. The game isn't even back on my TV yet, and we got 2 pitches and. What was it about Poche? I feel bad that I don't remember, but
I thought you said Robert Poche for a minute there for a second.
Robert Poche, he's got a restaurant. Had a restaurant.
Oh, did he?
Hey, Torque, a grounder to shortstop.
All right, now I remember what it was. So it was okay. Now, okay. The reason why this stood out to me was this is May 2nd, 1999, and this is around the time I was graduating from high school the following weekend. And the reason why I was so pumped at the time for this, the Tigers beat the then known Devil Rays 8-2, and it was Justin Thompson. It was one of the last really good starts that Justin Thompson made in a Tigers uniform. I mean, that was the year, I believe, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, it was 2 years removed from his All-Star game. That was his last year playing baseball. He didn't make another appearance again until 2005 with the Rangers because he was having constant arm trouble. But it was a start that, okay, when I tell you this box score, you're gonna sit there and say, well, Rogelio, that's a crappy box score. 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and a homer. But keep in mind, he was 4-2 already at that point. And the Tigers at that time really did not have any starters that stood out. At the time, they were a game under 500. And I don't know how much you were paying attention to the Tigers in high school. I think you and I talked about this before. They really were out of it before June. And at this point, they were 1 game under 500. They're 12-13 at this point. And I was excited because I thought for once, hey, you know what? I'm graduating. The Tigers are going to actually be, they're getting competitive and get all excited a little bit. And then and then it just went in the toilet. Yeah. They finished 69-92, and it was the final year of Comerica, or excuse me, final year at Tiger Stadium, and all went to hell. So. But it's funny. You know, it's funny. By the way, they finished 3rd in the AL Central, 27.5 back of Cleveland.
The White Sox and Royals worse?
The White Sox finished 2nd at 21.5 back. The Royals were 32 back, and the Twins were 33 back.
I guess that was right before the Twins had their kind of resurgence with Santana and Torrey Hunter and those types.
Yeah, I think that was one of the last years that Tom Kelly was there too. So that was those Twins teams. I remember the only reason why I remember those Twins teams because of guys like Eric Milton, Brad Rackey, and the Twins always had some sort of like just these pitchers to me against anybody else but the Tigers seemed to just struggle against, but.
And Richmond is 4 for 4 with a walk now with 4 RBIs.
Wow. I guess something happened with Miggy, apparently. I don't know. I'm behind. I'm way behind.
Oh, he liner to the left field.
A double. Nice. All right. Sweet.
How many career doubles is that now? That's like 507?
Yeah.
508?
Let's go to the stat tracker, if you will. I'm almost a full minute behind you guys.
Miguel Cabrera, that is career double number 508. No, that would be home run. Double 608. I'm sorry. Career double number 608. Oh, tied with Ichiro. That's fun. Surprised they're not pinch running for him. I thought we'd see Maton, but I guess when they brought in another lefty.
Miguel Cabrera, career double 608, tie with Ichiro.
Ichiro for hits
Oh.
with 3,100 or 3,000. What hit number is that? That is 3,089. Let me see. Yeah.
And that was a 608th career double, right?
Believe so. I'm checking right now the career doubles leaders. So
thank you, Alex. Yeah, I did that. I caught up. Yeah, I reset my stream. Thank you. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, double 608. He is still 16 behind Hank Aaron, but it's 14th all time. And Jonathan Scope with a walk. We've got a Javi Baez walk and a Jonathan Scope walk. And here we have the tying run in the form of Ryan Kreidler, ladies and gentlemen.
So there's new, by the way, if you're on Twitter, there is the new hashtag, which is hashtag Rep Detroit. So Rep Detroit,
huh?
Rep Detroit. So no more Detroit roots. So,
right.
You know what's funny? I just posted that tweet about the stat, and yeah, the Tigers are already ahead of it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure they have 100 Cabrera like tweets lined up and ready to go already. They've planned ahead for
the Tigers PR. I will
watching the game.
I will say this: the Tigers PR department has done a very good job of getting quicker with those kind of stats. Props to Greg and some of those people that work over there. And by the way, the congratulations to Carl Skian, who works in the Tigers PR department, who's the bilingual coordinator, who's broadcasting a game right now on AM 1270. And he'll be doing 22 games this year. It's a step in the right direction. I wrote an article about it for Motor City Bengals because I thought it was important that this is for anybody who lives in Southeastern Michigan growing up. And if you're Hispanic, for me, there wasn't a lot of Hispanic people around here. Now the population's over like 120% increase in cities like Lincoln Park and Melvindale and even outside of like Hamtramck and Pontiac. So it's nice to see. And it's really cool that the Tigers are addressing that.
Yeah. Kreidler couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
He hit it hard, I think, but
Shreve looks like Cisnero.
Cisnero. Yeah.
Up. Yeah.
Wow. Son of a bitch.
What's that?
Manny Margot robs Kreidler of extra bases.
Oh, what a dick. What a catch, though. I mean, you got to, props to him, though.
That's why he's out there.
Shep,
Margot
was kind of awesome.
Shep called it awesome.
Yeah, apparently.
You could say spectacular, Shep. You don't say awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Margot is a center fielder by trade, I think, right? He's basically playing outfield because he can catch the ball. But that was
I will say this game has been, for what it's worth, against a guy like an ace like that. I think I'm not going to do a thing.
They just aren't. So what do they strike out? They struck out 6 times against McClanahan in 6 innings. or 5 innings.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, and 1 walk. They didn't get a big hit against them, right? Didn't put one over the wall, didn't put one in the gap. So what is this? I'm watching. There's a commercial here. Is that Vin Diesel and Jake Gyllenhaal together?
I'm behind.
Vin
I don't
Diesel,
know. I
is
don't
it?
have the same as you do.
I know. I'm watching TV. Sorry, I was like,
okay.
it's a movie, but is that Vin
At
Diesel?
least it's not
Who
one of
is
those. What is this? AMSMR or article
ASMR.
or
Oh God.
ads that
Yeah.
MLB.com is doing with the.
Yeah, that I don't know why they do that. Why do they do that to me?
I don't know if anybody in our chat watches Beavis and Butthead, but Beavis and Butthead did a really funny. They were going over a ASR video. Did you watch that, Chris?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fantastic. It's called, wow, they're showing the replay and the catch again. Man, that's a damn good catch.
So yeah, that's definitely not Vin Diesel who I saw in that movie.
Yeah.
It's Dar Salim was the guy named him. But Chase and Shreve making his Tigers debut.
Yeah, there it is.
Mhm.
He didn't pitch for the Rays, did he? I know he pitched the Mets, right?
Mets, Yankees. I feel like he's been
he's
on
a
5 or
Rays
6
pitcher.
teams. He does seem like a Rays pitcher.
Nice. His first out is a strikeout.
Yeah.
By the way, I like Craig Monroe on the roof. No more Jack Morris. And I'm sorry for anybody who likes Jack Morris in the booth, great, but good to see Craig Monroe. And also, it's going to be joining him this year is Cameron Maben on the booth. And on the radio side, the Tigers they have a gentleman who's going to be joining them. They have a couple people they're going to be joining. Danielle Bruce, who does work with the Red Wings. She's going to be in there.
Mhm.
So that's good to see. The other, I'm drawing a blank on the other broadcaster, but it's a former U of M.
Yeah, is it Scales, Bobby Scales, or something like that?
Bobby Scales. Yeah, good call. Bobby Scales, and him and Dan Dickerson already had a really good rapport together. But Cameron Maben did the booth, I think, last week. He was really good. And so again, play-by-play doesn't, to me, they're both fine, but it is good to see a little bit of different variety. And then with Carlos Guillen on the Spanish side of things, Barrio Garbe, the former Cuban Tiger who was on the 84 World Series team and has been a minor league instructor since, lives in the area. He'll be joining Carlos for some games along with Mati Montez, who's a Venezuelan player. I got a chance to meet her last year. Fantastic human being. So
I was looking at
Go ahead.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was just looking at the score. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Shreve pitched for Atlanta, the Yankees, St. Louis, the Mets, and the Pirates.
Pirates, okay.
You're saying Boston's doing some things?
It looks like they have, let's see here. I think they have maybe look back
10-7.
Yeah. Bottom of the 8th. Looks like they're scrumming back against Baltimore. Philadelphia all over Texas 4-0. 1-1 Pittsburgh and the Reds. Bottom of the 1st in St. Louis. Toronto's up 3-1. The Cardinals are threatening, and I just changed it on our screen, so let me go back to that. Sorry.
We got Trey Turner with an RBI triple. Alec Boehm with a 2-run homer.
Alec Boehm needs to have a good year. Oh, look at that. Mason Englert already going to be thrown in the fire. He's warming up.
Nice. There we go. Get that over under.
I'm really, honestly, I'm really excited for this guy. I mean, the more I see him pitch, the more whoever made that call, whoever scouted to make that call, good on you.
Christian Betancourt walks. He doesn't do that very often.
No. And the pitching lineups they have. Look, Zach Eflin, who I wanted the Tigers to go after, will get the start for the Rays on Saturday. The Tigers are off tomorrow, and then Sunday is Joey Wentz against Jeffrey Springs. I'm not familiar with Jeffrey Springs whatsoever, but
yeah, I think they signed him to an extension, didn't they?
Jeffrey Springs?
I think so. Jeffrey Springs and Turtle. Let's see.
I know that spring water is disgusting.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, Jeffrey Springs signs his extension with the Rays in January. 4-year, $31 million contract extension. Could pay him up to $65.75 million over the next 5 seasons.
He's a lefty.
Mm-hmm. Shreve having some trouble finding the strike zone now.
Not bad for a guy who was drafted in the 30th round by the Rangers too. As I looked up
Springs, yeah. Well, Shreve nice bounce back to get Jose Siri strikeout. It's good. He's got a good changeup. I think they were showing that Shreve does not have really any platoon splits, which is impressive for any lefty reliever. And basically, what you need now in the age of having to pitch to three guys. So you still want a lefty who's funky and tough on lefties, but he's got to have something else for. Yeah, just blew him away with 91 right down the middle. Set him up with all those changeups and.
That was some good tailing action. You could tell Siri's like, what the bleep?
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of remind you of Jamie Walker a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. He's kind of gaunt and lanky.
Yeah. I know you blew another one by somebody there, 91.
Yeah, it's well, he looks like he should be a solid addition to the bullpen. That was a nice, minor league free agent signing, or free, however you call it. Invite to spring training.
Yeah, and you know what? If there's one thing that I think that it's already pretty signaling of the Scott Harris era is that they're going to churn every single rock to find what they're looking for the roster.
Yeah, and they're going to keep doing it. They're going to, I think, that is to that question about, like, are they going to cut Jonathan Scope? I'm still skeptical about that, but I do think that we're going to see a lot more guys aren't performing for a while. They just kind of are gone or sent back down to the minors. I don't think they're going to be a lot of, waiting around for somebody to figure it out.
Which to me I'm glad for, because quite frankly, there was a lot of complacency in the I'm not going to blame Al Avila for all of this, but I think sometimes based off whether it was lack of talent or lack of looking. I mean, the Tiger, even there's waiver wire pickups where I was thinking, okay, maybe they'll come to Detroit at some point, but they never did, or the Tigers would never take a chance on, especially bullpen arms. I thought that was strange. I always thought that was a little bizarre sometimes, because I think I've seen more. It feels like, at least to me on paper, it looks like the Tigers. Like for example, you bring Miguel Diaz. That was interesting last year, and although he has some command problems, but that was kind of, I don't know. Like I don't know. I didn't feel like the Tigers did that enough. Just give random arms a chance. In other words.
Yeah, they would give, at least not. Yeah, I'm thinking back to like the Dombrowski era still, when like randos like Evan Reed would get innings, but
or about Downs. What was that guy's name?
Jaron Downs.
Yeah.
Brad Thomas. But there was
Robbie Weinhardt.
Luke Puttonen.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
But yeah, under Avila, like it seemed like they would grab relievers, but then often they would just stay on the 40-man in Toledo. Like they wouldn't even get a chance. Like there's a specific guy from the Pirates I'm trying to remember. Johnny Barbado. Did Johnny Barbado ever actually pitch for the Tigers?
Yeah, he did.
But I remember they.
Yeah, former Pirate, right? He was a former Pirate.
Yeah, I just didn't know if he actually pitched, or if they just kept him on the 40-man forever and never used him. Blue Jays 3 runs early against the Cardinals. Springer single, Bichette single, Guerrero, Varsho double. Yeah.
Johnny pitched in 2018. He pitched 6 innings, but was not very good. 5 walks and 6 innings of work. Ugh.
Everybody baited all over the place.
Yeah, I think it was like number 50.
What?
No, I thought he was like number 50 or 52, but I was wrong. He was 50. He was 51. I just remember. I don't know why that number stuck out to me, but
Bo Bichette starts the season 2 for 2.
dude, I'm telling you, man, I think he's gonna win the American League batting crown. I really think so. He's putting it together.
I can see it for sure. He's a really good hitter. All right, so Tigers have 6 outs to work with. We got Matt Vierling up again, or are they going to bring in a pinch hitter?
They're bringing in
Zach McKinstry.
He made the roster. I thought he.
Yeah, McKinstry. Yeah, he had to. I
Oh
think.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah,
Every time I hear McKinstry, though, I think of Ministry and Al Jorgensen.
You ever read the book on? There's a book my brother was telling me about that Ministry Al Jorgensen wrote about, where there was one point, dude, Chris, your wife would highly recommend it to your wife, because at one point he goes in Courtney Love's room and steals all her heroin and leaves her broke, and she wanted him to stay. She was like, "I'll F you if you stay around," and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway.
No, yeah, it sounds like it's one of the most depraved like rock and roll stories of all time. That book.
Fun fact: he's Cuban too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, Zach McKinstry with a ground out.
Yeah.
But he's hustling. Look at him hustle.
Yeah, he's got Romo and Santiago's old number.
Nice. So he pinch hit for Vierling, huh?
Interesting.
Against a lefty. So yeah, I think Hinch is just going to go to town with all these platoons this year.
Yeah.
At least to begin the year.
We're gonna see some old Sparky Anderson ball here. Sparky Anderson loved platooning.
See what Javi can do against a slider away. We know what he can do against those.
Swing and strike.
Yes. Better timeout.
It'd be nice if you got a hold of one, like randomly, if you could swing and get something, but
it's so weird that like you can be in the major leagues and be a good quality player and have such a glaring weakness that you can't apparently do anything about. He just can't lay off sliders away to save his life. Although he just did. So it's almost like the urge to hit overwhelms him. It's like trying to give your dog a treat.
Yeah.
Like you can get them to calm down and not bite it out of your hand, but if you just hold it up there, they're going to go after it every time.
By the way, last time we saw Jason Adam pitch was in the World Baseball Classic for Team USA.
Yeah.
And he pitched in the championship game, I believe, too.
I think you're right.
Maybe the 6th or something. I can't remember.
So,
I always just go ahead.
No, I'm just hoping Riley Green can
do something,
hit the ball hard over the fence.
The Rays always have guys.
Just missed that one.
The Rays always have guys that you've never heard of in their bullpen. It's like the no-name defense of the Dolphins no-name defense that they were talking about in the 70s. Always every time they do a flashback. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
but yeah, no, they the Rays they get guys. They're like safari guides and substitute teachers and like gas station attendants and
guys who end up doing Disney or turned into a Disney movie. What was that lefty that?
Yeah, that was the Rookie, right? With Dennis Quaid.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one with Henry Rowengartner.
That's Rookie of the Year, isn't it?
Oh, that is Rookie of the Year. You're right.
Yeah, Funky Butt Lovin'.
Yeah, Funky Butt Lovin'. Ice hot.
Yeah, hot, warm ice.
Yeah, warm ice. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then Daniel Stern disappeared for like a good decade after that. I didn't see him in anything. He was in everything for a while, and all of a sudden Daniel Stern just disappeared. I
don't know. It's a 4-pitch walk for Riley Green, on base twice today.
Nice.
The Riley Green inning begins.
And Eric now against Eric Haas.
This would be an interesting. I mean, Haas has the power, but I wonder if they would bring Kerry Carpenter in here. Although I think they could then take Adam out because he's already faced 3 batters, right?
Yeah.
So, but this would be a time you would think where they'd, pitch it with some lefty pop. Maybe if there were 2 men on. But although some managers don't ever like to pinch hit for their catcher, right?
Right.
Just or at least not until they have to, because the danger that losing them. Well, maybe Haas can work a walk. Maybe Torque Redemption tour begins.
He's on a war tour.
Mm-hmm. A Torque tour.
Got it. Target sitting up high.
It's pretty nasty.
Change up.
Change ups. Yeah, back to back.
They're not going to give him a fastball at all.
I wouldn't think so. No. Not especially when you're behind in the count. But
yeah.
And we haven't seen any attempt. The Tigers haven't had a ton of base runners, but we haven't seen any attempt to steal, from what I can tell. Right?
No, they haven't been aggressive on the bases so far. But then again,
it's basically been it's been Baez, Green, Meadows on twice, and Miggy on once. Is that right?
Miggy should be technically on twice, but he got hosed.
Yeah. Although that would have been just a fielder's choice, right?
Yeah.
Because it was instead of a double play.
And true, they wouldn't. You're right. Wouldn't have counted it, but you would have got on base choice.
He's swinging an inside changeup. Weird. Well, I can hear the narrative coming already.
Yep.
Same thing as last year. Tigers can't score.
This offense is terrible.
Yeah. How many times did they get shut out last year? I'm looking. A weak little infield pop-up. Well, Mason Englert, though.
Apparently, Jed in our DM said that Hunter Green just hit 105 miles an hour.
Hunter Green did?
Yeah, I'm going to double check that on StatCast because I'm going to go to StatCast here.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me. He is... 100.
No, according to StatCast, it's got 102. So yeah, it's probably a hot gun. But by the way, in case you're wondering, did Onel Cruz hit the ball very hard? Yes, he did. Yeah, he hit. Looks like he hit a home. He hit a home run.
Home run off Hunter Green.
Yeah.
Boy, that probably went very far. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 425 feet at 111 miles an hour.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So do you remember in cartoons when two forces hit together, like it's like this big explosion? I guarantee you that's what happened to the ball. Like, I'm surprised there's maybe a couple seams that busted out of the ball.
Maybe it wasn't a fastball, but let's see. So 1, 2.
Let's see. What was that pitch against them?
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, it was a fastball. According to the pitch was at 101. So
I was looking up. Tigers were shut out 22 times last year, and starting early this year. But
yeah,
maybe they can scratch out some runs there in the ninth. You got Torkelson, Meadows, Cabrera, possibly.
Update: 105.2 is no longer showing on Baseball Savant.
It was 105.2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's only throwing 101 as a starter.
Free and easy too. I want to say free and easy. We don't know how free and easy.
No, it is. It is. That's what they've always said about him. Is it's some of the easiest velocity you'll ever see.
All right, Mason
Englert out here pounding the strike zone. Why are they zooming in on his glove?
I'm not sure. Looks brand new.
It's I know Shep loves to talk about gloves.
No glove, no love.
Couple. Hey, interesting. There's a throwback to like early '90s safe sex talk.
Yeah. Felt like TLC there for a moment there for whatever reason. Why are they zooming on his jersey?
Because he has the little MLB debut patch that they're doing now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Players have a little tiny patch and then they're going to put it on their baseball cards to make more money.
Ah, okay.
So he's trying to land that changeup is his best pitch generally, but it looks like he doesn't quite have the feel for it just yet. He hasn't thrown a little bit too firm, maybe, but he's thrown everything else: curveball, slider.
Here's a fun stat for you. Evan Woodbury tweeted this out as the Rays embark on their 25th anniversary season. They announced a sellout crowd of 25,000.
No, 25,000 is all they can hold there, huh?
Yeah, apparently. There's
Well,
there's Fairbanks, who every time I look at Fairbanks, he reminds me he looks like a character on oh man, what's the show? The Righteous Gemstones.
oh.
Yeah, Rutschman is 5 for 5 for a walk. Oh, there he is. There's a living legend himself, Mr. Scott.
How's it going, boys?
Henley, how you doing, man?
Hey, wow.
I'm doing all right. I mean, as good as we can be.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Chris pointed out earlier that this would be the Tigers got shut out 22 times last year, so it would be kind of apropos rather that
starting early this year.
Yeah.
Symbolic, certainly.
Yeah.
So,
Mason Englert.
By the way, if you have not checked, Torque was doing there. So, if you're not checked out Locked on Tigers, of course, you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, or listen to your podcast. What was your win prediction, Scott?
74.
74, okay.
74 and 88, yeah. And I, looking at everybody's projections yesterday.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Yeah, golly, that'll do it, huh?
Sorry.
Oh, I've just seen it. Yeah.
Is that his first AB or second?
That was the second.
That was
right?
Yeah, first batter that Englert faced.
Oh,
this is first batter he faced. Oh,
9 pitches. You come in and you get Wander Franco, one of the best, has plate discipline in baseball, and that's toughy. But
that'll happen.
Yeah.
I picked. I went 70. I think they're gonna. It's gonna be.
Nice.
I went more. I didn't want to go.
I think you went 72.
Did I go 72? Yes. Okay. I thought it was maybe 70, 72. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, when I was just like surfing and seeing where everybody surfing Twitter yesterday and seeing where everybody's predictions were, my 74 was definitely on like the ever so slight like higher end. I think most people were around that like 69 to 72 area, somewhere in that range. And so, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. It really is just a matter of, as you guys and myself have said so often this winter, is just like last year everything went wrong. Like how much of that is a fluke and how much of it isn't.
Yeah.
Like for this year is pretty much like what a lot of this season honestly is.
Yeah, and go ahead, Chris.
No, sorry, I was remembering. I think you actually went 71. Not that it matters. And then when we averaged everybody's out, it came to 72 because I was 70. But it's hard to feel like everything can go bad again, but it's also hard to shake that feeling until they start doing good things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, certainly everyone will react very, very calmly to a shutout on opening day. Certainly. It's definitely not going to be a pretty 48 hours till we play again, I'd imagine, based on the fan base's reaction to this one.
Yeah, and there's going to be that kind of like the house is on fire mentality.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be horrible. But you're going up against a pitcher, and Shane. I mean, he is one of the best pitchers in the American League, and they were able to at least. I mean, they couldn't do anything against him to a certain extent. They didn't look hapless. They were at least in the game. But I mean, there's no such thing as moral victories, as you know, Scott. But he was just dealing. There's nothing the Tigers could have done with. I mean,
that's was like the big thing is like this game always, this whole series, this whole first month and a half has the potential to be like a kind of wins out of the sail start to the year, which I know is not going to make people happy and whatnot. But yeah, like one of the worst offenses ever last year is going up against like one of the best left-handed pitchers breathing right now, like to start off the season. Like, I don't know. It wasn't always a recipe for success necessarily, but, one game, just tough to start off with this being the one game. That's all.
Yeah. McCallahan's final line, by the way, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and 6 strikeouts. And in terms of swing and miss stuff, if you're curious to know, he had 16 swings and misses. That's how good his he was able to. What I liked about him was he was able to pound the inside part of the strike zone effortlessly.
Yeah. He's unbelievable. And the other thing is, like, he will, like, early on in the game, he really loved the fastball, and you could tell certain batters he continued to really love the fastball just throughout the entire game. But he'll throw 7 straight 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and then 6 straight curveballs, and then, you know what I mean? Like, the mix is very, very healthy with him too. He's unbelievable. If he stays healthy, he's going to be in the Cy Young race.
Yeah, there was one of the things where I noticed that with Special Turkleton too, the bats they had with him, they weren't going to give him any favors and fastballs. He I thought had a really good idea of what the Tigers were trying to look for, and he was able to dial in pretty effectively. That's saying something about how the Rays were preparing for Detroit. But by the way, what'd you think of that when I saw that hit by Turkleton, by the way, I was confused because I thought, like, and Chris had explained to me the shift. Didn't that look like a shift to you?
It kind of did. I understand the reaction by everybody being like, "Oh, the shift is gone." Just kidding. But I mean, he started. It's not a violation. He started off on the right side of second.
Yeah, and that's go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, decent bounce back from Englert there.
Yeah,
he had a couple long ABs against Wander Franco that ended up a home run, and then Paredes, but then got 2 fairly quick outs. I wonder, he was really having trouble throwing his changeup. I wonder if there might be a slight difference in the baseballs that they're using in actual games as compared to spring training.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's gonna be another conspiracy theory about that too, though. It's like, how often are the Tigers going to screw with
first
baseball?
AB? You think New York's still getting those those home run chase balls?
Oh man.
So who's coming in to pitch for the Rays?
Fairbanks was warming up, but somebody else was warming up too.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, Rayleigh? No, the Rayleigh's on the Rayleigh's a hitter. They have Rayleigh the pitcher's on the Mets now, I think. Yeah, it's been kind of a bummer of a game. We got a couple. Meadows looks good. That was nice to see. After all the consternation about him performing in spring.
Yeah.
And Riley Green on base a couple times. Miggy with a double. But Erod looked, I thought, pretty good until that last inning, and Foley did what Foley does. He just didn't get the double play until the third batter he faced, and by then it was too late.
One thing I 2 interesting, like, I don't know, managerial-ish decisions were, one, it didn't end up mattering, but I was surprised they didn't pinch run Miggy after the double. But also the pitch calling, I don't know if that was Haas or I don't know if it was Hinch, but to bring in Jason Foley and then not have him throw his sinker off the bat was really weird to me. Like the hit that was up the middle, the hard hit ball up the middle against him was a slider that, like, caught the inside of the zone, and that, like, I'm not against, I don't want him to just throw the same pitch every single time he goes out there, but it was weird to me that, like, you brought in Foley, he throws the sinker, like, almost all the time. You clearly wanted a ground ball to try to get a double play, and then, like, he threw the first pitch out of the pen was a slider, and then the third pitch that was hit really hard was a slider too. It was weird to me.
Yeah, and it was like a front door slider. I don't know what they were trying to, like. It was
trying to catch the inside corner. It was weird.
Yeah, so I assume that's a Haas thing there, but who knows? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was a little bit odd.
I thought because his sinker's so heavy and he gets so much good action on it that
ground ball machine.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Like that was when he came in, I was like, oh, okay, well, they'll get full year for the grounder and go from there. But yeah, that I don't know what that slider was. It looks like
It was weird. 2 of his 3 first pitches. I was very confused by the decision there.
What happened?
Oh, that catcher got Langforded.
Yeah.
Oh!
You remember that? Did you ever see that internet video of the woman stomping grapes that falls and loses her breath? Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, even.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's even walking right now. I really am. I mean,
let's show a replay, Bally. Yep.
Yeah.
He was, he was pointing.
Scott, they want those views. They don't care.
Yeah.
Gotta see that one again.
That's the visual equivalent of this game for the Tigers fans.
Yeah, literally. Have you guys seen the for like rookies making their MLB debut this season? They have a little patch.
Yeah, Chris was just talking about that right before he came on. Yeah,
it's MLB really debut. Cool. That's kind of cool.
Ooh, okay, so you hit right in the eye. Okay.
So they can throw it on a baseball card, I think.
Right, yeah, I that's probably why. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's he's got the pitch com in there.
Initially, I thought it was off the nuts, but it looks like it was in the thigh.
Am I wrong, or is that 3 ground outs to shortstop for Torkelson today?
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
You got to work on that. Get the ball in the air, man.
Yeah. That is
no slug on the ground, right?
Same as it ever was, as the Talkhead Heads once sang.
Yeah. Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Yep, there it is.
But, all right, we got down to 2 outs. Oh, wow. Meadows.
3-hit
Keep
day.
doing this thing, man. Yeah.
Nice. By the way, it is crazy going on in Boston right now as it's 10-7 in the bottom of the 9th. Boston has 2 runners on. See
who's up?
I love it.
Yoshida.
Oh. Hey, Meadows. Little seeing eye grounder. All right.
Take a 3-hit day.
They gonna have Mickey hit, or are we getting Kerry Carpenter here?
We're getting Carp Show.
Yeah, looks like Mickey.
Yeah, looks like.
And in play outs. That I haven't seen what happens, but that very could be another double play.
And yeah, you know what? The fans are gonna get pissed about that too. 100%. No, oh, actually, it looks like Nick Maton is coming in for.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Miggy popped out.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nick Maton.
So it's Maton. Who hit 8 today? Scope.
Jonathan Scope, yeah.
Scope, yeah. That makes sense.
And Scope looked lost at the plate.
Yeah, he does, man. That was brutal.
Well, I mean, so he had his first. His first at bat? Didn't he work a 9-pitch walk, and then he struck out, and then he worked a walk, or not a 9-pitch walk, but it was a 9-pitch strikeout, then like a 3-pitch strikeout, and then I thought he walked in his third at bat.
Did he walk?
Yeah, he did. He does have a walk today. Yeah, he did draw a walk.
I was thinking about that second at bat where it was super quick, so maybe that's where.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one I think it was his first at bat, the high curveball that was pretty clearly a strike and wasn't called.
Yeah.
And got an extra pitch out of it.
Baltimore just pulls it out 10-9 in the final.
Wow.
10-9.
Wow.
Yeah.
That Baltimore. I don't think their pitching is going to cut it, because I don't think that a Boston offense is all that good. But
man, I really am. I know the Orioles are the fun, sexy team in the media. I still think they're going to be last place in that division this year. I think they're still a year away.
I'm telling you, I don't really. I don't.
I had them 4th, but
yeah.
But yeah, I can totally see that. It's just if Kyle Gibson is your ace,
right? Yeah, exactly. And the offense, you have a ton of really fun, hot prospects on there for sure. But there's still a ton of. It's not like they have 9 top prospects. There's still pretty blatant holes in that lineup too, especially the bottom half of it.
Yeah, when you're throwing out Kyle Gibson as your number 1 starter,
that's certainly the biggest thing.
That's the only thing. Out of all the teams that in the offseason I thought I would address more pitching, I thought Baltimore would be the case. And then did they send Grayson or Rodriguez is starting the year in the minors, right?
Yeah. Yep. Grayson Rodriguez is starting the year in AAA.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had I think he gave up 15 runs in 15 innings or something like that. It was like not what they wanted to see.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it.
0-1.
Ground out for Nick Maton. They gave him a fastball unexpectedly.
And there you have it. There's a shutout.
Yeah.
A shutout.
Oh boy. Well, 2 hours and 15 minutes. So that's efficient.
There you go.
I think that's what I predicted, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right on the dot, dude. Right on the dot. 2 hours and 15
Oh.
minutes.
Game day says 2 hours and 14 minutes. I blew it. It's Price is Right rules. If you go over, it's no good.
Yeah. But no, there's a couple positive takeaways. One, yes, Austin Meadows did have a great game, 3 hits. Take that away. Number 2, another good takeaway from this is that Mason Englert not fazed by a home run. So, I mean, you can take it with that. And then the last thing I take away from all this is that the Rays are good. That's all there is to it. I mean, like, this is the Rays are good. So I know it sounds like a very generic thing to say, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean the pitching isn't going to get easier the rest of the series. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we got through McClanahan. Okay, it's not like it's like, oh, you got through McClanahan, now now you have a chance to score a lot more runs the last 2 games. Like, that's you got a heck of a rotation down there.
Yeah, and that home run, by the way, for Wano DeFranco was 402 feet. So that was a shot. That was the ballpark. So, all right. Well, Scott, what do you want to promote? You have going on Locked on Tigers?
A show every day. That's pretty much what I got going on over there. Yeah, no, we season preview episode was obviously today, so that's a fun one. But yeah, I'm really I know this is a kind of a sour start to the season, but I am really excited for this year. I think there's a ton of storylines to watch, at least, which, like, last year the storylines by like June turned into, is just anyone going to be good? Whereas like right now, at least the storylines are, there's positional battles, there's like prospects that we want to see take steps forward and whatnot. I think there's still a lot to watch for this year. So yeah, I guess I'm more promoting just like watching baseball than I am my own show. But
no, but you're right. There is a lot of, for example, going to Toledo tomorrow to watch Parker Meadows and the rest. There's a lot of things that you can go down in Toledo. They have a pretty good rotation. That Toledo team could contend potentially for a playoff spot. That's how good they are. And then the week after that, we're heading down to Erie for the opener, and Erie's roster is still not exactly set yet, but I still think they're going to have Colt Keefe down there. It's going to be a fun time. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to is guys like Andre Lipsius. And I mean, you and Scott,
Andre
you've been
Lipsius,
like,
baby.
since you and I, since like day one, have been
day one, baby,
on a train together. When everybody's like, "What about this guy?"
Dog,
you were like, "No, don't worry about it. He'll be here. Don't worry about it."
Oh yeah,
yeah. And,
yeah, man. I'm so pumped to watch some Andre Lipsius ABs, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and yeah, Elton. I know. I'm sorry. The offense does absolutely blow. There's nothing I was going to say about it, but it was So. But yeah, either way, you're right, Scott. There's a lot of things to look forward to. Chris, what was a couple takeaways from you before we get out of here?
Yeah, for today's game, I don't know. I thought Erod looked like the way we want him to. He was really, dancing around the edge of the zone, keeping guys off balance. He made one mistake on the home run, and then kind of looked like he got tired and was losing his location at the end. But I think that's what they paid for is that kind of pitching. And yeah, just get a little bit better cluster luck. Maybe move the lineup around a little bit. I don't know. Riley Green got the slowest hit of his career and got a walk, and Meadows I think is good to see. So yeah, I don't know. It's always tough to lose a game like that and then look at the rest of the season and go, yeah, things are great. But I don't know. I do think that I think the offense is going to be better this year. It has to be better this year. They've got guys who I thought that for the most part, they were working good at bats today. It's just you're running into some really good pitching, and the Rays just know how to attack everybody's weaknesses. So I don't know. I'm not too down yet, but we'll see what happens after they get shut out twice more.
And
I
then they go
love
to-
the new name and logo, by the way.
Thank you.
I wanted
Thank
to
you.
say that on air before we hopped off. Love it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're it was one of those things where I gave Chris and I, or it was honestly going back and forth with some ideas, and Tiger Talk is kind of John and Yooper were kind of like, well, we need to have something that recognizes the Tigers. Well, people know who we are. You just Google search it and it comes up. It doesn't, so we love talking stats, and I just thought it was compelling, and not to mention the logo. It was something I did in Canva. I worked on and off for a couple. It's been in my head for a long time, and it just like I don't know. I'm just like it just came out. And I'm like, whoa, shit!
Good. I love the good alliteration. Always good for a title.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
Motor Soup.
Yeah. Well, John's like I said. John was like, "Are you sure people are gonna know who we are?" Yes, John. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fairly certain that a rebrand or two isn't gonna stop you all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But hopefully, Bentley, we get to see you soon. I want to get down to the ballpark. We're going to see each other at the ballpark. I know that for a fact. But hopefully, we can do another live stream like this again. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, and thank everybody on YouTube for watching us this afternoon with us for the opening day. I think we'll do this every once in a while. Tomorrow, join us on Tiger Miley Report as we'll be live in Toledo for opening day. Connor will be with us, and that game starts at 4 or 3.
4 or 5 is the
4 or 5
the tip off, as they say. Although the forecast still looks kind of rough. We'll see.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's one other thing worth noting for baseball fans. If you're not watching big league games, you might want to tune into ESPNU tonight at 8. You got LSU versus Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Paul Skeens versus Chase Dollander. You got Dylan Cruz. 3 potential top 10 picks plus Maui Ahuna playing shortstop for Tennessee. You got Trey Morgan. They're some potential future Tigers playing later tonight. If you're so inclined to watch that.
good stuff, Chris. Sticking for the airport reminder that because
Smash that like button.
I'm gonna wait a while before I can. And smash the like button, as Elton said in the chat. So we'll see you next time. We might, I don't know. Tonight we'll play by ear. It just depends what's going on. I know Yooper was depending on what's going on later, but I don't know. I might just do something, or I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So join us later tonight. If not, we'll be back on Sunday. So for myself, Chris, and Scott Bentley, we'll talk to you next time.
Scott.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
See-
Yeah, Scott it. Woo!